Hey, it's Rex the dog. Interesting thing I want to talk about today. Well, at least interesting to me. I'm a big fan of, well, maybe you know at this point, I'm a big fan of loads of different things, right? And one of the things I'm a big fan of is pro wrestling. And finally, Triple H, Paul Levesque, who's I think they call him the chief creative officer of WWE. He's the head booker, right? Who's organizes the writing the show, and these eyes are goofy. Let's do that. He's in charge of like booking the show, talent management, whatever. He finally kind of said it. Let me get the quote. Something I've been thinking for years. Right? Where the hell is it? I say this a lot, and I don't think he has, but he says this. I say this a lot. I'm quoting here. I say this a lot. We're not a sport. We're a movie about a sport, or a TV show about a sport. So the interest of all the other things happening are just as great as what happens in the ring. But people are not just people are so interested in not only one storylines, but who the real people behind the storylines, the drama of all it, blah blah blah. I'm not going to follow the quotation, but it's that bit at the start. I know that he has always said like we're in the business of making movies, we're in the business of making episodic television show, but I've never seen him flat out say, oh, we're a show about a sport. Because if you've ever seen WWE Raw, that's what WWE Raw is. WWE Raw is what's unique about it is the fact that it is live, and it's basically the last sort of really commercially viable form of performance art, right? Besides, you start thinking about like, okay, sure, you've got dancing, and sure, you've got, you do have Broadway shows and stuff like that, but this is, the international level that this is at is kind of crazy for this big performance art show. But anyway, it's the fact that he said this is about a show, because WWE Raw, the way it's presented is identical to the Muppet Show. Okay? And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about, right? That's the other thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Muppets, okay? Because as I was trying to say at the start of this, and maybe if you've been following this channel, whether it's the live streams or the videos or whatever, is I have taste in lots of different things. I like pro wrestling, but I also like the Muppets. I'm a huge The Muppets fan. Principally the Muppet Show and like the original few movies I adore. I love that sort of like goofy, vaudeville humor and all that sort of stuff. I think the creativity of the puppets and the songs and the interaction between the puppets and the human guests, whoever's starring on that week's episode of The Muppet Show is really special, and it's something we all sort of like collectively buy into and agree. Even some of the more modern movies, like you get into like A Muppet's Christmas Carol and stuff, like Michael Caine plays that movie just like straight in the face of all the Muppets, But the thing about the Muppet Show, which of course is kind of like the flagship that everything kind of spins off from, is the Muppet Show is not, you're not watching the show. You see segments of the show, but the Muppet Show is presented as a TV program, is a show about a bunch of guys putting on a show called The Muppet Show. So you see segments of The Muppet Show, but then you get also, the backstage stuff. That's a huge, like the through line of every episode is Kermit's trying to put on the show, right? Kermit's trying to put on the show, and you see all the disasters and the whatever and all the stuff happening behind the scenes. Now, obviously, that's not a part of the show within the show. That's not a part of the Muppet Show within the Muppet Show. There wouldn't be cameras there. It wouldn't be filmed. It wouldn't be added into the show. But we're seeing it, and that's exactly the same way WWE Monday Night Raw is formatted. It's formatted as a bunch of guys trying to put on a wrestling show. That's how it's formatted. And we see some of the, the in-universe WWE Raw, right? We see, like, the matches happening. We see the, official backstage interviews. But we see all this other goofy stuff as well. We see, the equivalent of Kermit and, Fozzie and Miss Piggy running around backstage or just off camera in gorilla position trying to put on the show. And that drama there is what makes WWE Raw specifically so captivating, right? Because the performance art, the live stunt show is incredible, is absolutely incredible. And that stuff's incredible. If you ever get a chance to see that stuff, whether that's going to a WWE show, or that's going to another promotion, or that's just going to your local federation, that stuff's awesome. But the stuff that makes WWE Raw specifically, or that gives it something special that some of the other federations don't, is it has that, show within the show. It has Triple H and everybody trying to put that show together, and the drama that comes with that, and the insane 1,500 episode, continuity of episodic storytelling that comes with that. And you look at some of the really ongoing characters who've been there for a really long time, and you've seen them chart and growth over the years. It's kind of like comic books. It's really, really quite like comic books, because you've got these, larger than life characters who are developing over time. I've kind of fumbled through this, but I don't know. I was just on Jerry, who's a longtime viewer here. I was on his Letterboxd page, and he was talking about the Muppets, and I was like, oh, damn, the Muppets. I love the Muppets. And I was just watching WWE Money in the Bank, and then the two things just collided. Just like, hey, WWE is the Muppets. It is not sports. It is the Muppets. I'll probably talk. I've teased talking about WWE for quite a while. I'll probably get more into it, or just pro wrestling in general, because I'm a big New Japan guy. But yeah, there's a little ramble about how WWE Raw and the Muppet Show are the same thing.